What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we highlight the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who have made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Times
What's up? What's up?
and LeVon Maynard.
Where that?
What's going on? So this week, not so exciting, but we did find the three most crucial articles of the week. Ever since the pipeline thing started to die down, so did the news, but that's how the news cycle works, which is a good thing, right? I'm sure there's still people getting ransomware out there, but it's not as big as whole entire pipelines and causing mass hysteria in the States. So it's always a good thing. But without further ado, I give it to LeVon.
Sure thing. So we have an article today from the Threat Post from Becky Bracken. And this one's called Hackers Exploit Post-COVID Return to Offices. So it's pretty much essentially, everybody's coming back from the sabbatical of COVID, getting back to the office, getting back to the regular routine, getting back to the daily grind. And it looks like some scammers out there, some hackers are trying to take advantage of that. Everybody coming back to the office. And apparently, according to this story, I don't remember. I don't think this one referenced any particular company, but it's essentially what happened was somebody posing as the company's CIO sent out pretty much a phishing email to the company employees, and they disguised their email basically saying that it's like a update to some of the COVID, due to COVID, we have some new policies in our company. We want to go ahead and click on this link here to see the new updated policies. And it looks pretty legit. I took a look at the actual email. They have like some screenshots of it. But essentially, they direct you to a Microsoft SharePoint website, but it's actually, it's like I guess like a hack website. It's not even a legit SharePoint, but they just put like the splash page and put like the icons where they need to be. And it kind of says like, here, click on this file to like access to the new company policies. And so when you go there, it like actually pops up like an authentication box. So you put in your email address and your password. And then I think they said actually they purposely made it fail a few times to actually, I think it's more so to kind of make sure your credentials are entered correctly so that they can make sure to have the legit credentials, and then it like directs you to like a legit I think it should direct you to a legit like Microsoft OneDrive page or something to that effect. But it's just interesting that they're using these tactics, and it's pretty sophisticated. It looks pretty legit, the email, but it has some of the branding and some of the like it's the company branding towards the top, as well as the CIO message towards the bottom. And I think it's actually the person that runs that office, who held that position, was actually the name on that email. So it kind of looked legit. And I think it may have, actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if the thing references any particular people that got compromised or any kind of big like fallout from this, but I think it's at least identify that this was a known issue, that people, were out there trying to get these credentials. And I'm sure, at least one or two people may have fallen for it and provided their credentials. But, these are kind of things you got to look out for, even for like an average user. I get all kinds of spam emails and things like, oh, your credit card was declined, or your credit card had an unknown charge. Click on this link to verify or to, get your money back or something like that. You'll find all kinds of things like that in your inbox. I'm sure people in general see that kind of stuff pretty regularly. But you guys have some thoughts on it, Ryan? Perhaps you have some feelings on the story.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clever. I can't fault a user for clicking through it because of how realistic it looked, as well as the fake failed log-on attempts, just like in real life. You're like, I know I put my password in right. So, so it's actually really clever. And then not redirecting you off site was also pretty good. So you got to give it to hackers and scammers, man. They're getting really good. Like there's been a few times where I've gotten emails where I'm like, I just don't know. So I kind of go through I'd no longer click links to get to my bank or to like Apple or something like that. I now just log directly into those accounts. Because there's been a few times where I'm like, man, this looks so real. Like it went from like dear customer to like now it's like even more crafted and personalized. Like they
Right.
know my name.
That's right. That's true.
Like so I definitely can't fault them for clicking through it. Even with good IA training, it looked pretty realistic. Um, but I just don't know, man. Like it feels as though they the bad guys just have so much time on their hands. They're getting so good. Like what are we doing? what
Right.
on our end? Um, I guess you have to think like your enemy or whatever, but they're just like I don't. I guess to to the team who's supposed to be protecting us, you only have so much time in your day, right? So you have to protect things that have already been exploited, and then also think of clever ways of being attacked. While these people are just attacking, like that's their entire job, is just to attack without without like just they don't cease to attack us. So they're just getting really good at their craft.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you got, Shannon?
So I know for me, I have helped several Nigerian princes in my day. So no, I'm joking.
Haven't we all?
he got my $20,000. I'm
That's
gonna be
right.
a millionaire now, you know. No, so like Ryan, I'm just like you, right? Like I don't click any links in any email now. Like it doesn't even matter to me. Like if I see something, I will go to my app or the site itself, you know what I mean, that I know is more than likely trusted. But so here's the issue I have with this though, right? So and we have worked in an environment that implements this, right? If digital signatures were implemented for this, it would not be easy for this to happen, right? Because you'd have to verify, okay,
Oh, true.
this CIO is who it says it is. I'm just going to click on this ribbon here or whatever, whether it be PKI or just go to, you can set up your own type of certificate, your own CA or whatever in your company to make it to where this is harder. You know what I mean? Don't make this so easy. And we have worked in that environment. You know what I mean? Department of Defense implements that, right? Like if I was to get an email from you, Ryan, and it looks a little suspicious, I'd be like, I don't know. Let me click on this ribbon and make sure it's verified. It's who it says it is, right? That could have all been avoided here. Now, granted, the users, you don't expect your users to be the most tech savvy, right? But this is why you do that training with your users to teach them to look out for these things, right? Like for us, having worked with the Department of Defense, right? We had that annual cyber awareness that we had to do, right? Remember the whole email thing where it's like, tell us what's wrong with this email and do this, that, and the third. You can
Yeah.
do the same thing in these companies, right? And I realize it's a little bit more money, right? If you want to implement some type of CA, you know what I mean? And then you got to worry about how to issue them, how to secure them, and do all these things. But now look at what you're going to have to deal with, right? Now you're getting credentials from your company that are getting put out there to all these people that you don't want to have it because you didn't want to invest a little bit of time and money on the front end or a little bit annually, right? Like that training to do it once a year and it maybe be 30 minutes, 45 minutes or so, whatever it may be, like it is worth it to do that to keep your company and your information safe. But yeah, when I read this, I was like, digital signatures could have prevented this right off the bat. So you could have verified this CIO was who he says it is. But again, you guys bring up a good point in that like your regular users, your user in the financial department, they're not a tech savvy person more than likely, right? They probably know how to use, whatever accounting program they're using or whatever, and then they kind of stick to that. They just kind of keep to their lane with that. But everybody has to have, especially in this day and age, because we're all using computers, everybody has to have some type of knowledge of how these different things these different attack vectors can be used against them, right? So especially with this COVID sabbatical, as you so
That's right.
Right.
put it, LeVon, you know what I mean? Like with most of us working from home and whatnot, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is something we really should have, and we've hit on this before in past episodes, right? So go look at the past episodes and you guys will see this. But we've hit on this before where you got to put a little bit more into it when you have people that are maybe not using equipment that is they're not doing the whole what do you call it, BYOT, bring your own technology or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So people are
Right.
just using their own laptops and you don't know how secure they are, and then you may be allowing them accesses. But when these companies did it, they just and like they copped to it, right? They were just like, get them up fast, so we can make money. We're losing this much money every hour, this much money every day, this much money every month. Like they know those numbers, like the back of their hand that they're looking at, you know what I mean? So Yeah, digital signatures could have prevented a lot of this. Put the time in the beginning, as we've talked about before, and put a little bit of money into it to save yourself this heartache that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to, I want to say in that article it referenced like 10% of the time this happened, it was like hospitals, right? It was like medical
Yep.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like 10% of the time, and that's just like, that's one of those things where you may not want your money being messed with, but you definitely don't want nobody out there knowing, you got you was a little wild in your college days or something. You know what I mean? Like,
You got something to tell us, Shannon?
no, not me, not me. I'm just saying. That's just stuff that you just don't want out there, right? Like protect it
Right.
appropriately. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's my thoughts.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. Hold us accountable. Like, I'm getting soft. Look, I'm getting soft. Like, yes, it was their fault.
That's right.
Restrict their access, make them take the challenge again, all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're getting good. I mean, they're already good. They're getting great. that's what's happening out there. But no, you bring up a good point. Like, it's really bad on the healthcare side. Like, I know there's a lot of steps being taken. I was in a clubhouse, I want to say 2 months ago. They had like I want to say he was the director of the NHS, maybe National Health something.
Over in the UK.
Yeah, over in the UK. They all had UK type accents. But they're making huge strides. So I got to stand up and ask a question and whatnot. I felt like I was the only American in the crowd, so I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong room. But it does seem to be that they are taking strides to be more secure, and they're a little bit different when it comes to the way they treat the CISP. It's more of a degree than it is just a certification over there. So like they treat it as though it's a master's degree to certain respects. So they are definitely moving ahead. I should say that. Well, we'll get there, but we also don't. It feels as though either we don't publicize the U.S. attacks as much as you do the UK attacks, or we're just not being attacked as much. Because I think we talked about it, or we may not have talked about it, but it was one of the articles that was up for grabs where Ireland was attacked. I think we skipped over that one because of the pipeline. But the same week the pipeline was attacked, Ireland was attacked, and they didn't pay the ransom. They were like, "Nah, we ain't paying." And they paid for it. I mean, yeah, there was a cost to it. Like, you didn't pay the ransom, so they start releasing information. But you disincentivized the ransomware gangs from attacking you again. Like, well, there's no money to be had here. Just work basically. So
do you think maybe it's a matter of the American companies? It's I don't want to say these companies in the UK aren't financially driven, right? But for us in the States, maybe it's more along the lines of, okay, we can save this money and still look good to shareholders and this, that, and the third.
oh, right, like privatized hospitals over the national, maybe, or I don't know. I think when it came to their original attack, like way back WannaCry, when they got hit a few years ago, that was due to them using really outdated systems. They're still like on Windows like 95 in some of those respects. So they're end of life, easily attacked. I'm not sure if they've upgraded since then. I'm not sure if that is tied to them being nationalized or not. That's a good question. Because they do seem to be attacked more, or we just don't publicize ours. But I think we would. Like, the Colonial Pipeline was very well publicized. And we'll talk more about that this week as well, because there's more craziness to do with that. So that's a good question. I definitely want to find out if that's the reason. Like, maybe in this case, being privatized does make you have a bigger stake in staying secure, because you don't want to lose that money. So it's a good point. So I think we beat this horse to death, but definitely interesting article. Like, it's going to be a lot more of this. Like, people are coming back. It's time to get back to work. They're going to come in their offices lax. So I think the forefront should be IA training. It should be getting people more indoctrinated. They should already been doing it anyway from home, so it shouldn't really change when they get back into the environment. But who's to say they're not bringing stuff back with them? Like, what did you catch out there when you was like you said in your college days, like when you was at home on a sabbatical? What did you pick up, and now what are you going to bring to work? Right. With your own device? So that is true.
Yeah, and just like a little bit of information from the article as well, kind of touched on it, but the So first of all, for COVID, it says like U.S. Over half of the U.S. adults now have received at least one vaccine shot, and they mentioned that the vaccine-related phishing attacks spiked 26% between October 2020 and January 2021, just as life-saving drugs were being rolled out. So there's a lot of a lot of focus around COVID and people coming back to work. And like you mentioned, as people come back to work, I mean, they're going to start getting inundated with these kind of like spear phishing and like, have you got your shot yet? Click here for more information, or click here for your to set up an appointment for your shot or something. So or it's like it might be the opposite. Maybe like, you got a shot. Warning: this is just released information about side effects from taking your shot. Or Bill Gates has put a chip inside your shot, and now you're going to be tracked everywhere. So now, click on this link to find out more.
Look,
So
that one is already out there. Believe me, that one.
Right. That one.
Yeah.
Not to look too hard for that one.
Yeah, there are some of them sites that are kind of far off that are already pushing that one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's conspiracy theorists out there for sure.
Man, people wild. But no, I thought this was a definitely good article. And it does bring a lot of things to light. Like, I'm sure we're gonna have more talks about this. But so I did say it was a dry week, but there was some other stuff that we didn't bring up, like the whole Wi-Fi being broken, the WAP2 being broken, as well as there was another one. What was the other one? Oh, Google hiding their location
tracking
settings.
tracking.
The tracking settings to make sure that you were tracked. So that was also in there. So there was some stuff. It just wasn't as bombastic or whatever the word is, as pipelines and gas and trunks and other nonsense. But
am I the only one that thought about Shaggy when he went there?
Yeah.
Mr.
Bombastic. Semi-time.
Oh yeah. I was like, why did I say it like that? There it is.
Mr. Lover.
But that does it for this episode. So thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. Thank you to all of those out there listening and sending us messages and emails. Stay tuned throughout the week. We'll have another topic tomorrow, as well as we will have a discussion on Thursday. And then hopefully Ask Us SP. I've been slacking. I skipped 2 weeks. I needed a sabbatical, but now I have lots of questions to answer. So there it is. And then Friday, of course, we always have the everything else but cyber, where we do the weekly rundown. So. And someone else may have some consoles now. We will talk about it. Stay tuned. Hit us up at www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. We can also get to our IG and Facebook group, as well as you can hit me up personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and IG. And LeVon?
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Y'all take it easy and have a good week.
Take care.